What is up, bros? Me, Josh. In today's video, we're going to go over the Tier 7 UK destroyer, the Cossack. Now, just keep in mind, this is currently work in progress and subject to change, and by God, do I hope it changes, because right now it needs some love. As you can see, I have the Ghaja Mada. It is the Tier 7 Pan-Asian DD. This is also highlighted, and that's because these things are almost identical, as you can see, not only visually, but the play and how the ship is very similar as well, except the Ghaja Mada is the insanely strong version, or if you look at the other way, the Cossack is this terribly awful. What do you do? Please fix it. Don't put this thing out there. Please make it different. It was work in progress. Please change this. That's what this DD is right now. Basically, what this is a terrible version of an amazing ship that is the Tier 7 Pan-Asian DD line. Haven't been playing the Pan-Asian DD line. Play it. This is arguably one of the best ones tier for tier and so much fun to play, and I enjoy it. This ship, however, was not fun to play, and I didn't like it at all. Even though it had some of the amazing things that the Ghaja Mada had, overall, it still needs some love. Very, very briefly going over them, and even though they aren't honestly 100% identical, a lot of it is. The guns are identical. Their turret location is not identical. One of the major differences, though, right now is torpedoes. This has one set of 4, very similar to the Glance, where it can either single fire or do a spread. Very similar that way. Same damage on the torps and everything like that. And then it's a little bit less. It has 60-kilometer detection compared to the Ghaja, as it's with the Ghaja 6.1, and then some other stuff. One of the major differences I saw when I played this ship compared to the Ghaja was I enjoy playing the Ghaja. I enjoy being aggressive in that ship, and as you can tell right here, there's one of the major reasons. As you can see, with my targeting, with my turret ability, you almost have to go perfectly broadside to get all 3 turrets. The shooting angles on these things the turret angles on these are absolutely awful. As you can see, there's a blocker in the back and there's a blocker in the front. If you've ever played the Ghaja, you know for sure that you can almost go perfectly straight, and with the 360-degree angled turret on the back, you can get almost all 3 of your guns perfectly straight, and it's amazing. You can be aggressive, you can push, and with this, it actually took me a while to get a decent game to kind of show you guys. I didn't enjoy really playing this ship in its current state. One, because I couldn't put any torps. Yeah, when you play the Ghaja, you only have deep water torps. This one has normal. But if I'm the Ghaja, I'm pushing right into this cap, no big deal, because I can be aggressive and stay bow in. This one, I knew max I could get 2, and if I had to go broadside. And one of the major things is too, the Ghaja has 2 sets of 5 deep water torps only, so they can't hit destroyers. This one has 1 set of 4, and you can either spread in single file, kind of like that, as I was doing, or wide. I really, really wish that, and I'm fine with that gimmick being the Royal Navy destroyers. I kind of think that's kind of a cool one. Wish the New Orleans would have followed us into BCAP, but he didn't. He's his own thing. But I'm okay with that. I wish we had the ability. No one really should be shooting widespread torps, and the single files are really nice if you're going against certain battleships. But I wish you had the third ability. Maybe make that the niche of going single launch torps, as well as having the narrow spread and the wide spread. I would love to see that. I think that would be a really, really cool change for this line. I'm fine with the single line torps, but only having 1 set of 4 on a pretty long reload, that was kind of something I wasn't super excited about. Now with the Cossack, I mean, it's been getting a lot of grief across the board from all the CCs, mainly because look at those shooting angles. It's awful. You almost have to go perfectly broadside. That's about as close as you can get right there. Is almost perfectly broadside. It still has good guns. It has a good reload, good alpha damage on it, good fire chance, a very, very high fire chance. But like right here, I'm not as I would feel so much more comfortable being in a different ship, and that's what I kept feeling when I was playing this, is I wish I was in a different ship. Now you have a very good detection in this ship. You have a very low detection at 6.0, one of the lowest, and it took me a while to kind of get used to this, but no matter what I'm doing, I am basically only having 2 guns. It's very tough to get all 3. One, you don't want to sit broadside and smoke, but it blew my mind that this is a thing. So when when you are playing the ship, you almost have to kind of make your normal narrow spread torps kind of like that. As you can see, we're seeing the other CCs doing it. They're kind of just making an artificial narrow spread. Now it's against a Ghaja, so he's probably going to have sonar up. But still, no matter what you do, you can't really get all three guns, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks. And for this, I didn't really enjoy that. I wish I was in a different ship the entire time I play. Now the detection is good though at 6 kilometers. It's one of the lowest for this tier. I mean, if you compare it to, you know, the Bliss at 6 point, I think it's 6.7, the Mahan at 6.8 or 6.9. I think I got those numbers right. 6.8 I think for the Mahan, 6.7 for the Bliss. Sims at 6.6, so you are pretty low, and you can absolutely shred destroyers. That's where you're going to be pretty decent. But being in a dogfight, it's going to be very, very tough because you can't get all your turrets on. Your torp angles are pretty bad if you guys saw that, and there's just not much you can really do. Now you can still go kind of bow in and get those 2 turrets on, but really other than that though, it's kind of like, why would I play this other than, you know, when you look at a premium ship like this, you're looking for something that is going to set it apart, make it worth the purchase. What is this bringing? You know, look at something like the Scharnhorst, right? Scharnhorst is completely different. The Dunkirk, something completely different. These are, I'm just pulling random ships kind of out of the air, but these are all things that you, when you go to purchase a premium ship, you want something different that brings a different play style, that brings a different flavor to the game, or you know, to your play. This does nothing. It's seriously just a worse version of a very good ship that you can get for free. Now, a lot of people have talked about, well, you know, all premium ships don't need to be overpowered. All premium ships don't need this. This is seriously just a worse version of a good ship that's fun to play. I mean, you know, you look at the Gallant. The Gallant is different. I enjoy the Gallant. I'm excited that if the line is more like the Gallant. I'm not excited that the line's going to be more like this. So we're going to hopefully see. I think there's been a lot of negative feedback on this ship, so I imagine they will change it. Some of the stuff that we will... Now, I think it's going to be very tough for them to change the turret layout. I think they kind of have to stick semi-historically accurate, LOL, historically accurate in this game, blah, blah, blah. I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to actually move turrets on this ship, and change the design behind it. So I think that's going to be part of the ship that we're going to see. I think they might add, or hopefully they might add, a second torp reload or a reload consumable that's maybe usable or has a bunch of charges. That might be kind of cool. But right now, this ship definitely does need some love. Like I said, it took me a while to kind of get a decent game out of this ship, because it's not like you could be very effective. It's one of the few ships that really has this kind of setup, and on top of that, it has terrible smoke. I kind of forgot to mention that. But really, what does this ship bring? It brings great guns, it brings great detectability, but on top of that, it has bad torps that you don't get to use very often. It has bad smoke that you don't want, and it has terrible, terrible turret traverse, not traverse, but turret angles. It's just overall, I mean, as you can see right here, we're gonna kind of hit this New Orleans pretty well. You can kind of see how much alpha damage this guy can do. But gotta take out that radar ship. But really, this ship needs some love, and I try to be kind of, you know, a lot of people are very with the Roma. A lot of people are negative on a lot of CCs are kind of negative on certain ships. This one, I'm all on board the negative train that this thing has, as bad as that sounds, because I would consider myself a destroyer player. I love destroyers. I love destroyer gameplay. I'm very excited about the UK line. I love playing the Gallant. It's a great ship. But really, this thing just brings nothing, and you know, when it's a new line, and you know, there's some turds, then that's okay. But when there's a premium ship, you know, I gotta give you guys the complete honesty of what these ships are, and this is an easy ship to just pass on. If you are looking for an interesting ship to play that is a UK destroyer, then pick up the Gallant when you can. That thing is unique, that thing is different, and that thing is fun to play. This thing is just a bad version of a ship that you can get in the game for free, and you will have so much more fun playing. There you go, I actually got a torp hit as well. Second kill, which is nice. But yeah, I really think this ship needs some love. I don't want to just sit here and go, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, here we go, it's bad, bad, you know, which is I feel like this video is kind of turning into. But when you're paying for a ship like this, tier 7, it's going to be probably around $20-some. I think The Sims it's going to be very similar to that. You are asking people to pay for a ship that is just this, then you're going to have some trouble selling it like this. Now, I said we've been throwing some ideas around in the CC chats. I think maybe a torp reload could potentially save it, but still, even with a torp reload, I'm trying to think of even some changes other than actually changing up the if they made this ship literally a Ghaja Mada with just a premium version of that ship for the UK line, it would be good. It would be good, and maybe, you know, instead of 2 sets of 5, which the Ghaja has for its torps, give it 2 sets of 4, but normal torps. That's a great ship. I would say, yeah, this thing's great. I love it. Awesome. But right now, even if they add a torp reload, even if they add something here, something there, that guy got absolutely obliterated. This is going to be a tough sell. I'm almost broadside, and I can't get all 3 of my turrets on this guy. So, and there's that alpha damage. These ships do have good alpha damage. I will give it that. The guns are good, a bit arcy. You can use some, almost kind of play it like an Atlanta or a Flint if you've ever played that, but the arcs are there. And so, this is good. I don't know, this kind of turned into a rant video. I didn't really mean for it to do that, but the ship has potential because it's based off a good ship, but really right now, it just isn't a ship I'm looking forward to. It's not. I don't know what they're gonna do to change it. That's another thing. And so yeah. On top of that, I just don't really know. This one kind of has me confused. Right now, I consider this a hard pass. There's no upside to this ship. If you are looking for a UK destroyer that I think is a good time, the Gallant is great. Pick up the Gallant. That's a lot of fun. Low detectability, good torps, and kind of done, I guess, better than whatever this thing is. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Still work in progress, subject to change, and I hope they change a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.